I'm your host, the most open 193. You're joining me for Elementalists, Book 1, Chapter 4, Judgment Day. It's the morning of your third day at Penderghast College of Elemental Magics, and you're already in trouble. Pace back and forth in front of Dean Joffe's office, dreading entering and facing the possibility of being expelled. I can't believe this is happening. You jump as a shuffling sound from the end of the hall and straighten up, thinking it might be the dean. But you deflate as Beckett rounds the corner. I'm surprised you made it here before me. I assumed you'd get lost with how sad and inept you are. You're the one who got us into this mess. Me? How do you possibly figure? It's because you are also distractingly cute. It makes it really hard to focus on anything, especially since you are so clearly in love with me. No, wait. His face scrunches up as he cuts himself off. You hold back a laugh at his frustration. You're clearly just trying to fluster me. Don't think you'll get in my head with your siren song. What is that supposed to mean? Listen here, you little... A loud click draws your attention, and you look over to see Dean Joffe standing in the doorway of her office. Ah, you two must be the pair that Professor England is referring to. Beckett straightens up immediately, smoothing out his coat and running a hand over the Penderghast crest on his chest. Yes, Dean Joffe, we are, and may I just say how truly and absolutely sorry I am for any and all of my actions. Kiss ass. The Dean stares at him until his smile fades, and his face turns a deep red. She then turns her gaze towards you, appraising you with a look you can't quite place. Come in, both of you. Let's get this over with. You and Beckett take seats across from Dean Joffe's ostentatious desk. Before we get started, allow me to say that I don't care who started this. I'm greatly disappointed in both of you. Mr. Harrington, I had extremely high hopes for you as a student. With what your parents' reputation... Beckett hangs his head. He grips his knees tightly, knuckles turning white. Take the blame. Dean Joffe, please don't be hard on him. I really did start all this. The Dean turns sharply towards you, and you force yourself not to shrink away. I appreciate your candor, Miss Jones, but it doesn't excuse Mr. Harrington's actions in this. Next to you, Beckett's grip relaxes just a bit. Mr. Harrington, considering your excellent transcripts and undeniable potential, you will not be expelled today. Feel the tension shift as Beckett exhales. Thank you, ma'am. You really won't regret. The Dean holds up her hand to quiet him and turns her burning gaze on you. You, however, seemingly came out of nowhere and think the Penderghast rules don't apply to you, No, of course not. That's... Excuse me, Dean Joffe, but it was an accident. A spell gone awry that was blown out of proportion. Her eyes widen as she'll look over to Beckett, but he doesn't look in your direction. The Dean steeples her fingers and is silent for a moment. Lucky for you, Ellie. Someone has already made a case for you to stay. One a bit more compelling than Mr. Harrington's. But wait, who would do that? Someone who apparently cares whether or not you continue your education here. But I want to make sure you know the severity of your actions. Both of you will be required to put in school services hours as punishment. Of course, absolutely. Whatever we might have to do. So be it. Arrive at the library at 8 this evening to receive your assignments. Thank you so much, Dean Joffe. Really, I promise you this won't happen again. It had better not. I am not a woman known for checking chances, and as you can expect, that any further incidents will result in expulsion. Do I make myself clear? You and Beckett both nod as an uncomfortable silence drifts over the three of you. Well, what are you waiting for? Leave. Without another word, you and Beckett gather your things and leave her office. I can't believe we made it out of there in one piece. That woman is terrifying. That woman is a genius, a real savant in the current magical educational landscape, and 100% the scariest person I've ever met. You laugh, relieved how that the hole and there's no impending threat of expulsion, and Beckett fights a smile. As your laughter dies away, Beckett clears his throat, straightening. I should go. My next class starts pretty soon. I'll see you later, I suppose. Right, sure. As you watch him walk down the hall, you see a curious face surrounded by a nest of wild hair peering out at you from around the corner of a side hallway. Is she a teacher? As you start to walk towards her, she disappears behind the wall. And then, when you finally reach the spot, she's gone. Later that day, you head to the greenhouse for your first natural studies class with Professor Contos. You take an open seat next to Shreya. Behind you, the majority of the floor space is taken up by something about a hip height, covered up in a tarp. Before you can ask about it, Shreya draws your attention back. There you are. I assume that since you're here, you're not expelled. Yeah, I think one of the professors helped me out. Dean Joffe said someone vouched for me. Maybe it was Professor Contos? He seems nice. At the very least, I'm glad someone's looking out for me. I never expected to be at Penderghast, but I can't just leave. You know what I mean? It seems like magic is starting to grow on you. It's not just that. I got this letter from my parents this morning. Well, I guess it's an email. Alright, the attuneless communication system at Penderghast is fully automated and state-of-the-art. It only records incoming messages, but filters and sorts them before transcribing them on little cards. You know a lot about it. Mystery Inc. has a tuneless product line, and we use a similar system. What did the letter say? You hand her the folded paper from your bag. Ellie, we hope school is going well. Don't forget to check in from time to time. Your father and I know you're probably living it up, so we won't bug you too much. Just remember we love you and are so incredibly proud. This is homework level stuff. I'm tearing up a little. I know, right? I can't let them down. Hartfeld wasn't working for me, but Penderghast is, well, it's different here. It feels so right. Professor Gondos comes through the greenhouse door, straightening his vest. Good morning, class. Settle in, please. We're going to start the year off with a very special and exciting lecture today. What do you think's under the tarp? I just hope it's not another giant fly trap. I swear the one by the door sniffed me on the way in. She shudders and you laugh to yourself before turning back to Professor Contos. Today's lesson is about one of the most important things an attuned will ever learn. Companion magic. Excited whisperings instantly fill the classroom. You turn and see the tar behind you, rippling a bit. Something's behind it. It's breathing. What's companion magic? As most of you know, many spells can be cast when an attune combines the magic with another magical being. Now, if there aren't any other attuned around, you can find yourself in quite a situation if you need to do companion magic, if it rises. And so, here's a fly trap. Have a great day. He strides across the room purposefully. He whips the top off of the 3 fenced-in squares and off of the floor, and inside... Hey, it's Toadie! No, wait, this one's cuter. This one's the cutest of them all! I mean, the dragon's pretty damn cute, I'm not gonna lie. You're so cute. Oh my god. Glass leans closer, craning to get a better look at the creatures. These are just a few of the magical creatures that hold enough potential to channel companion magic. We call them familiars. The Leo is a fierce and independent companion, built its trust though, and it will fight for you tooth and nail, even when no magic is required. One of the small puppy-like creatures yips cheerfully. It chases its tail before disappearing into thin air and reappearing a few feet away. The Lumion is wary of danger and will be alert and alert you at the first sign of trouble, making them highly prized as both guards and companions. One of the most elegant serpentine creatures coos softly and coils around itself. As its wings rustle, the air around it ripples as though charged with energy. And lastly, the Gorgi, a simple but effective creature, though they have the tenacity to be quite stubborn. Professor Contos points to the last enclosure. At first glance, it appears to be full of lifeless rocks, but then you notice one of the rocks is breathing. I, friends and companion breeding co, sent us over a fresh litter for all of you to choose from, so please make a neat line. Everyone jostles each other on their way to the back, pushing and squeezing as they try to be first in line. Hey, I got a question. Is there a cat? Can I have a cat? Do you have a cat? That is so cool. Which one are you going to get? You know why they probably didn't put a cat in this? Because they'd be like, crap, this is Sabrina. I've had my heart set on Lumion since I was a young girl. They're such regal creatures. What about you? You're about to choose your familiar. Choose carefully, as your companion will be with you for the duration of your studies at Penderghast. So we've got the frog, got the Arulu, we got the Lumion. Arulu! You picked an Arulu as your familiar. Excellent choice. As the Gondos reaches down and lifts out one of the small puppy-like creatures, he puts it in your arms. Now, what would you like to name him? Oh my god, we can name it Butterball? Huh. I'm gonna name it actually after the dog that I got from my autistic brother. You look like a Banner, don't you, boy? Banner gives a little yelp and scrambles up your chest to lick your face. His tongue leaves an icy trail on your skin. Take the rest of the class to get acquainted with your new friend, and remember, a familiar is not a pet, it's a partner. If you want them to put their trust in you, you must do the same. With that, Professor Gondos wanders back to the desk while the rest of the class coos loudly over the new familiars. I can't believe this. I know, I've always wanted a Lumion, but my mother said the only way an animal was coming into her house was in a garment bag. Her new Lumion squawks, gliding behind her and peeking over her shoulder. Oh, don't worry, my little Chi-Chi. My mother is nowhere close to here, and I would never let her hurt you. Chi-Chi? It's a nickname, short for Gucci, because my Lumion is just as iconic. On the floor next to you, Banner scratches his ear with his back foot. As he does so, a small snow flurry kicks up around him. Reach down and pick him up, nuzzling into his fur and avoiding the rigid spines on his back. I hope I'm good at this. I've never really had to take care of anything other than myself, and even that's kind of iffy at times. I'm sure you'll be just fine. Remember. She's face gets serious as she imitates Professor Contus's voice. A familiar is not a pet, it's a partner. Both laugh and spend the rest of the class getting to know your new familiars. That night, you enter the sprawling Penderghast library for your school services assignment. You take a moment to appreciate your surroundings. It's a library full of books, yeah! You spot Beckett towards the back of the library, surrounded by a table full of books. You head over to him. Hey, I'm not late, am I? No, I was already here. That doesn't answer the question. He glances up at you, eyes narrowing when he spots Banner in your arms before turning back to the book in front of him. Familiars aren't allowed in the library. Did you not read the sign? Oh, I guess I'll just bring little Banner up to my room. Don't be silly, just tell him to go off to the ether. He'll look down at Banner. Go to the ether? Ah! Instantly, Banner disappears. Where'd he go? To the ether? Don't worry, he'll come when you call, and he'll be perfectly happy there with all the other off-duty familiars. Snaps the book he was reading closed and stands up. So, what were you reading? There's gotta be so much great study material in here. Beckett scoffs at you. I'm here to complete my school services hour, not start a book club with you. Right. You glare silently at each other for a few moments. I got a service assignment from Mr. Cornigswift, the librarian. We're supposed to reshelve the attuned history section from 1300 to 1350. That doesn't sound terrible. That's only 50 years. Where's that section? He points down the nearest aisle, which stretches on until the darkness recesses of the library. It goes all the way down. I see. But at least all we have to do is put some books in the right place. He gestures upward to the dozens of books flapping around near the ceiling like birds. Oh, good point. Let's get to work, shall we? You're so friendly. Kinda like me without coffee. Oh wait, that's now. An hour later, you stand in the aisle with your back to Beckett. You slot another book into the shelf in front of you, only to have the other one next to it get up and fly away. This is torture. Tell me about it. This is making me even hate the library. There's a brief silence, and you turn around, leaning against the shelf behind you. You watch Beckett's back as he shelves a book effortlessly, and then another. So this morning in Joffy's office, you vouched for me. Yeah, so what? So, I want to ask why. You must have had some ulterior motive, since you've had it out for me since day one. I have not had it out for you. You're not worth my time. Besides, I figured I owed you for telling the dean it wasn't my fault. Don't make that a thing. Are you always like this? Beckett whirls around, his lip curling into a sneer. Like what, exactly? Like this, mean, spiteful. Not everyone is out to get you, you know. Obviously, I don't think that's the case. Brow creases as he frowns, struggling to find the words. This is important to me. School, I mean. I have to do well, I have to excel. Turns his back to you and lifts a hand. A small whirlwind appears overhead, drawing in all the nearby books, still flying through the air. I have to be the best. But why? This place is incredible. Isn't it enough just to be here? I wish it were, but no. If I don't graduate top of my class or win the Attune Magick your tourist award, what's the point? A stellar education, making lifelong connections, the college experience. Watch the book struggling against the air current Beckett created. One manages to slip through, losing a page or two in the process. Beckett's lip quirks, and for a second, you think he might smile. He doesn't. You wouldn't understand. I'll be back. I have to hunt that book down. Here's your chance to get to know Beckett better and become friends. We're gonna become friends? Irony. You think you need this to become friends. Follow him. Follow Beckett down the aisle, and after a moment, he stops with a sigh. You're not going to let this go, are you? Nope. I'll have you know I was voted most tenacious in high school. He almost smiles again before continuing down the hall, eyes trained on the book flapping weakly overhead. Lucky me. So, Beckett Harrington, what exactly is your deal? I wouldn't say there's a deal. My parents expect a lot of me, that's all. Yeah, I get that. Really? You'd think you'd tried a little harder in class, then. Hey, I thought we were getting past the snootness. Sorry, old habits, I guess. It's more than that, though. My parents don't just expect a lot, they expect everything. Katrina, my sister, has 4 degrees from 3 different attuned universities worldwide and an MBA from Harvard. Well, that's definitely impressive, but does she have 2 attunements? One of those attuned Uranus awards? Oh, okay, Uranus awards. Your incredibly good looks. Why not? We'll flirt. Becca glances away and clears his throat. I don't know if I'd say I'm all that good looking. Well, I would. Still, my sister always had the looks in the family. She was also Miss Massachusetts in the Miss American pageant. Oh. The book turns sharply to the left, and you follow it. Every book in the aisle is a vibrant shade of green, and you get the distinct smell of freshly mown grass. On top of all that, she's a humanitarian, she speaks 8 languages, and she even spent time studying in Le Cordon Bleu. Wow, how much older than you is she? She's only 28. Oh, come on, that's just unfair. I know, right? The worst part is she honestly is the nicest, most caring person I've ever met. And look at me, I haven't even accomplished anything yet, and I'm already a curmudgeonly jerk. Beckett, listen to me. Wait until he stops walking and turns to face you. First of all, don't you have to be at least 50 to get the title of curmudgeon? Is this helpful? You roll your eyes before continuing. And second of all, you can try to live up to other people's expectations of yourself. It's hard enough to listen to your own. Easier said than done. My expectations of myself are pretty high, too. Yeah, that's kind of obvious. Just remember to relax sometimes. You look up and see that the book has changed course again. You follow it to a dark alcove where you're faced with a set of stairs. You see the book at the top of the staircase and start to climb. What do you do for fun? I read, I guess. Okay, reading is good. What's your favorite book? Well, I did just finish the most exciting book about the correlation between a shield and the ward magic and their manipulations. I thought you meant like reading fan or fiction or poetry or something. The book angles sharply into a brightly lit corridor. Whoa, there's a whole art gallery in here? Realize that Beckett is unfazed as he continues to hunt down the book. You trip after him. There's gotta be something that you just do for the hell of it. I do sometimes enjoy yoga. Really? Huh, he enjoys yoga. That's interesting. It's excellent practice for focusing yourself before casting. And it's relaxing. Hey, no judgment here. You finally get right underneath the book. Beckett points at it, and attempting a spell, but it dodges just in time and flits away. Shoot. He glances at you from the corner of his eye, pausing for a moment. What about you? What do you do for fun? Me? I like to... Oh, there's a word that will never belong in the same sentence as me. Party. Keep things low-key. You know, curl up with a good book, watch something on Quick Flicks, take a nap in the middle of the day, all that good stuff. I guess I could see the appeal in that. The book flits around a corner and to another set of stairs and zips back down to the ground floor. This book is really giving us the runaround, huh? Can you blame it? It knows as soon as we catch it, it's back to the shelf. Comfortable silence passes between the two of you. For the first time, Beckett looks unburdened and relaxed. When you're around the corner, you see the book resting on a table, flapping its cover slowly as if taking a break. You whisper to Beckett. You take the left, I'll take the right. He nods and the two of you stalk closer and closer. Now. You both jump for the book and knock right into each other. You manage to get your hands around the book before sliding off the table and into a heap on the floor. You sit in a shocked silence for a moment before Beckett bursts into loud, uncontrollable laughter. We could have just used magic, you know. Yeah, but sometimes it's more fun to get your hands dirty. Brumch. You struggle to your feet before helping him up. A smile still plays on his lips, but after a moment he straightens his blazer and clears his throat. Should we get back to it then? Start to walk back to your aisle, but Beckett stops you. I suppose I should thank you. For getting you into trouble and landing you in magical college detention? Not exactly, though I guess thanks for that too. I should thank you for listening to me. Giving me a second chance, considering I was such a absolute monster? Not the wording I would have used, but I'm not that bad, right? You are, but you're cute, so I'll forgive you. Beckett's cheeks turn pink. You're especially cute when you get a compliment and you start blushing. Face turns a deeper shade of red. Thanks, I suppose. Is this that? You're also nice to look at. In a normal way, not that I'm looking. I just mean that. Don't worry, I get it. Now, come on, let's hurry this up so we can get out of here. You and Beckett head back to the Attuned Histories 1300 to 1350 aisle and slot the book you captured back into the shelf. After taking a quick glance around, you climb up on the library tables and jump for a hefty tome as it flies overhead. Beckett laughs. Stop, you're going to hurt yourself. Are you laughing at me? Just a little bit here, try this. First, stop the air current. He lifts his hand towards the flapping book and points a finger. The book freezes midair. Then turn yourself into a magnet. The book can't help but be drawn to you. He turns his hand towards himself and curls his fingers inward. The book gives a shudder and eventually drifts into his hand without a fight. They also like it when you stroke their spines. They're more likely to stay on the shelf if they like you. We've been at the school for like 3 days. How do you know all this? My home library uses a similar filing system. Go ahead and try it. Try it? Am I supposed to make myself a magnet? I literally only know how to conjure fire, and that didn't work out super great last time. Beckett sighs. What did Professor England say in class yesterday, L.A.? About where our magic comes from? That it's innate? We're born with it. Exactly. The point is, I'm loath to say this, but you're probably the most powerful student at the school. I'll be shocked if a little spell like this isn't a cakewalk for you. The magnet part is the trickiest, but you shouldn't have a problem, considering your secondary attunement. That doesn't explain how, though. Just, how do I put it? It's a feeling you get right in your center. You focus on it hard enough, you can feel the energy being released. All you do is reverse that energy. Draw energy in instead of expelling it out. Now go ahead, give it a try. Honestly, as a person who tries to master their chakra, yes, I'm into chakras, by the way, this is actually more difficult than he makes it sound. Beckett watches you expectantly, half a smirk on his face as you shake your hands out. Okay, first step. Stop the current. Lift a hand at the flapping books and point your finger at it, freezing it in midair. That seems right. You feel the book tugging against the current, straining to fly away. I better reel it in fast. Remember, make yourself a magnet. Right, which would mean using metal. You close your eyes and focus on finding your magical core. You feel a tugging sensation in your belly and try to reverse that feeling. You turn your hand to your face and curl your fingers inward. The book shudders and it slowly is pulled into your hand by an invisible force. Nice, just need to get it on the shelf. The book wriggles and flaps in your hands, trying to get free. I should stroke the spine. You gently stroke your finger down the book's spine, and after a moment, it begins to vibrate softly like a purring cat. It was a good book. You slot it into place on the shelf, and it rests there contentedly. There we go. One down. I've got to give you credit, Ellie. That technique was flawless. Better than yours? Let's not push the issue. You now can use the round-up spell. You and Beckett work together to get the books back onto the shelf. He draws the last book to him and goes to shelve it, and then stops. Wow, look at this. It must have been fluttered over from another section in the library. Another old book? Ellie, this is a first edition Penderghast compendium. Everything you ever wanted to know about this lauded institution is in here. Up until the 20th century, that is. Let me see that. I'm sure there's some truly fascinating school history in these pages. Oh, just wait till you see the complete timeline of Penderghast Deans chronicled all the way from the school's inception. Look, here's the original school seal right here. He points out the familiar crest on the book, the one you've been seeing around campus, and even now on Beckett's blazer. But instead of the elephant-like Durmux in the middle, there's a snake-like creature eating its own tail. What is that? We were Penderghast Ouroboros until 1916, when Dean Greygarden Waith thought the mascot should be a little more... I believe the word he used was fun. The rest of the seal is the same, though. The typeface colors the shield representing the 9 elements, and... 9? There are only 8 colors on the crest. Beckett traces a finger around the border of his crest on his blazer, which is a deep red in color. This is the 9th. But wait. I thought there were only 8 elements. There's only 8 that we're allowed to practice and study. Well, what is it, the 9th one? Beckett looks around, making sure you're alone. Blood magic. Or, like, the mastery of actual blood? More like mastery over life itself. Blood Earths are the only attune powerful enough to give life, and they can take it away, just like that. He snaps his finger, and you realize you've leaned in closer, totally drawn in. That's why the practice of blood magic has been banned. So the attune government, or whatever, just disallowed them? How do you do that to an entire group of people? It was more like they were suppressed. It's the rarest attunement a person can have, so they weren't many to begin with. How do you not know about this stuff? I never paid attention in school, obviously. Beckett nods like this is a suitable answer, and you try not to bristle at how easily he accepts it. But why? Why would they do that? Here, follow me, I want to show you something. He leads you to a creepy statue of a 3-headed snake in the back of the room. All its heads hiss in your direction as you approach, but Beckett holds out a hand and they settle down. So you're the marble snake whisperer now, too? It's an enchantment. You need special permission to access these archives. The snakes bend and twist before finally parting. Out of the way, you followed Beckett through. Huh. I thought it'd look a little more impressive back here. Hey, you shouldn't... He chuckles to himself. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. He laughs harder, but when he realizes you aren't, he straightens up again. Right, well, to answer your question about why they weren't to such lengths to stop an attune from practicing blood magic, starts to walk down one of the aisles. There was a man, a while ago. He went kind of crazy experimenting on children and all kinds of horrible stuff. They called him the Dread. That's so scary. So, as far as bad guy nicknames go, that's pretty chilling. His real name was Rafe Highmore. So what happened to Rafe? Beckett continues speaking in hushed tone as he winds through the stacks. No one really knows, actually. It's pretty strange. When I was a kid, he was basically the boogeyman. You know, if you don't eat your peas, the dread will come for you. Parenting at its absolute finest. And unfortunately, a very real possibility. For all the years he was being pursued, he only killed kids. One of the candles on the wall flickers, and knot forms in your stomach. You follow Beckett around a corner and into an aisle labeled biographical histories. And then one day he just disappeared. Beckett stops in front of the third shelf and runs his fingers along the spines, finally pulling out a book and handing it to you. Magical Crimes of the 21st Century. Take the book. You try to open the book, but the pages stay firmly shut. Alright, all the books in this section can be checked out with access approval, see? Points out a perfectly thumb-sized indent on the bottom of the spine. I see, and how do I get access? It would have to be approved by the dean herself, usually for students that are already excelling past the standard year's curriculum. And let me guess, you're one of the students. Ah, one of the many benefits attending Penderghast summer program, and being all around brilliant, of course. Great, so you can just check it out for me, and I'll... No way! I can't go around using my special privileges to help just anyone. What if you damage it? Forget to bring it back, and declare late charges. Learning more about Rave Guy is bound to help me understand more of the magical world's secrets. There might even be something in this book that explains the shadow creature. Beckett's the only one who can help. This book is a significant item. Collecting it will add to your desk and shed some light on the mysteries of Penderghast. Beckett, I guess I'll leave it for now. I can't do this myself. Please, Beckett, I need your help on this. Beckett smiles smugly. So, the great Sunat needs my help. Interesting. Don't let it go to your head. Normally, I'd have a lot to say about your tone, but please check it out for me. I promise I'll return it on time. He gives you an appraising look, then reaches over and presses his thumb to the book spine. The book issues a small hissing sound, and you notice it suddenly feel lighter in your hands. The Book of Rafe the Dread has been added to your desk. Don't say I never did anything for you. And try not to set it on fire. I know how much trouble you have with that. I'm going to go get my things together and return this compendium since our jail sentence is almost up. Sure, I'll catch up with you in a second, and thank you. He simply shrugs as he walks back to the tables, and you crack open the dusty tome. Highmore's actions during this time are considered the main catalyst for the banning of blood magic in the Americas. His reign of terror created an international panic, though no crimes outside the United States were ever found to have been his doing. No one has ever been discovered the reason behind Highmore's killing spree. Most assume it was a backlash due to the already growing contention against blood ads, or on page 154. While a small few believe Highmore was chasing the secret to refractionary energies of an old attuned lore. On the page is a photo of a man in his mid-50s with a wild, bushy beard and murderous eyes rimmed with dark circles. God, this guy really was a monster. You head back to the aisle you started on and slip the book into your bag before leaving the library. Took you long enough. I was looking at the book you showed me. Were you waiting for me? What? No. Well, it's dark, and we live in the same building after all, and... Right. Suddenly you feel the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You whip around and see the woman from earlier, watching you from the shadows of one of the hallways. Her again? Who? He turns to look, but she's vanished down the hall. Without saying another word, you take off after her. Hey, wait! You turn down the hallway, following the tails of her skirt. She disappears around corners. Come on, Beckett, keep up! You wheel around a corner just in time to see a door slam shut along the hallway. You swing the door open again, Beckett's right on your heels, ready to confront the mysterious woman, but instead you're faced with an empty hallway. Damn it. That's it. Then we lost her. Can we get out of here, please? This empty hallway is eerie. You look around, unwilling to give up. The corridor stops short in a strangely familiar dead end. You remember your first day at Penderghast when Griffin showed you his secret room. Wait a minute, I've been here before. I can't imagine why. Were you lost? No, I wasn't. Just look. Make straight for the end of the hallway. Congratulations, it's a dead end. Remember Griffin's movements before you. You clasp your hands together, then extend them and make a wiping motion in front of you. Slowly, the wall melts away to reveal a door. How did you know that was there? It's a secret. Color me mildly impressed. That was well done. I'll take it. Now give me a second to unlock this. Coil your fingers, tucking them into fists, and touch your knuckles together. Taking a deep breath, you touch 2 fingers to the doorknob before you. There we go. The door unlocks with a soft click. You gently press a hand to the door, bracing yourself for what's to come. There goes nothing. You tense as you push the door wide open, ready to confront whatever it is on the other side, and you step in. But the woman is nowhere to be seen. Crap, she's gone. Your gaze sweeps the endless shelves of treasure and trash that fill the room. Everything looks exactly the same as when you last came here. This room certainly isn't on the school map. His eyes shine as he takes in the various curios filling the room. Was that a jar of dragon scales? Yep, this place is kind of like a lost and found. Step further into the room and suddenly stumbled over a bag lying in the middle of the floor. Inside is a shimmery crystalline shard and an array of multicolored pins, what appears to be a long curved bone, and at the very bottom, under the clatter, an old photograph torn in half. The colors of the photograph are faded with time. You can just barely make out the image of a man cradling a baby in his arms, and you peer closer. You realize the baby has a sun-shaped birthmark on their shoulder, just like you. It's a picture of me. Item acquired! Oh, well, I hope y'all did enjoy. Please do share, like, comment, and, hey, if you truly do enjoy the content, which you should, and I hope you do, and the fact that I'm spending diamonds to bring this diamond edition to you, you should smack that share button. And, if you're not subscribed already, please do so. I am trying to grow the community. We're almost up to 11,000 people. And, I'd have to say this is a pretty awesome community. And, I take pride in it that, we have people from all walks of life on this awesome community. And it's just, again, I can't say it enough. Everyone here is awesome. And I want to thank each and every one of you. And without further ado, let's just jump right over to our outro. Peace.